Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you, Relay participants, for joining us, and those that are just watching, thank you. And still, there's time to donate. But first, we want to share a survivor story. So with me today is Becky. She's part of my team, Road 2, a relay story. And we got Becca, also related to Becky by marriage. And she's going to share with us. So please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you for that. Yes, my name is Rebecca Tomaski, and I wanted to share the Rogue One that I had to create because I have no stores around here that are open for me to actually go shopping. And this is, of course, dedicated to my baby sister-in-law. Even though she's in her 40s, she's still going to be a baby forever for me. I'm a mother of 3 grown children, 2 boys and a girl. There's life kind of just kept going on. I am 50 years old now. This all started though back in 2012 when I came back to handle my business here in Modesto, or back in Modesto. That I found myself having to kind of start all over, and the place I thought I had, I no longer had. So, Becky, Jackie, my mother-in-law, had she had been ill and so forth, but she did help me out with letting two of the kids stay with them while I got stable, which took a while. It was a good year, and greatly appreciate that because it wasn't long after that Jackie had passed away, and it was just I'm glad she at least had the time with her grandchildren. Um, anyway, this is that whole thing about her having having cancer, and I had been really sick. Having this one problem. It wasn't the same female issues, which when you think of uterine cancer or anything that, most women have. I wasn't experiencing that. What I was going through was GI issues. I was literally just inundated with discomfort and pain constantly. And when I found a place to live, I moved in with a friend, and she was pregnant at the time, and she had 3 other children, and she was single, and it was kind of a symbiotic relationship. It worked out well for us. It was, I had planned on actually working and, paying my way, but I couldn't seem to not get out of the bathroom or be able to get out of bed. Other than to help with kids and other things like that, I became an actual nanny. I'm very grateful that she allowed me to suffer the way, allowed me to not have to bring in anything because I could not hold down a job. I couldn't even drive. I was so scared about eating anytime and had to work around food around. Anyway, it was painful and it brought me to my knees and I had to finally handle it. I couldn't stop just eating antacids. It wasn't working. So I had to go and get insurance. And having someone who's been having insurance my, entire adult life, paying for it and taking care of my family, to have to go to the county was a real big, you know, um, issue because I'm glad that at first it started out fine. I applied and I was granted I have no income coming in, so I had the Medi-Cal and that was enough for me to go to the homeless clinic, which you can go in and walk in, and I was able to get a referral to a general practitioner, and they will refer me to the GI. Well, during this time, I discovered that my Medi-Cal was suddenly denied. It wasn't working. So here goes this whole long process of fighting the county for insurance that I should have qualified for. Or at least I thought so anyway. They didn't give me anything substantial as to why I wasn't covered. Anyway, so when I finally was able to get like these sporadic moments of it working, I was able to get a referral finally to a gastroenterologist. This GI doctor, she was a surgeon. Her name is Nancy Nessie, I believe. She was really really on top of it for me. She helped me out. Her office is great about getting on top of the Medi-Cal because it was constantly being an issue to even get my scans done. They needed ultrasounds and abdominal ultrasounds, which I couldn't get and because, can't pay for it. These are really expensive, tests. And literally from the time that I got that referral to the time I actually got the test done was 1 year. 1 year. And I had gone through all that, discomfort. And again, for another year, it just seemed very hopeless. I did go through a lot of depression. And I know a lot of it was the pain. I mean, I'm looking back, I know it was, because there was just times I just wanted to give up. It's just, you don't realize it until it's gone how much pain you're actually in. And grateful it's gone. And I still have those fears, But it turned out that as soon as they got their test results, I was in surgery. She was just like literally, next week, we're setting you up. So it turned out that my gallbladder had perforated, and I had 39 marble size stones that had literally moved into my body. And I'm just really great. Apparently my scar tissue and other things actually formed it actually formed a encapsulation of it. So I didn't, I could have gotten horrible infections, and I mean, it had gone on for years. So I'm very fortunate that I didn't die from that alone. But when I woke up in the recovery room, she was there, and she wanted to explain that that I have more problems that I needed to handle, and that she's got me set up to have some abdominal ultrasounds as soon as I'm feeling a little bit better, because she had to, maneuver herself around some growth that shouldn't be there. Great. So that was interesting news. And so I go home, I'm recovering, and my first appointment, it gets canceled because my Medi-Cal is now again not working. So here goes this whole thing again. And this is 2016 now. I mean, it's 3 years of this. And I decided to go because I'm no longer in pain. So I kind of found myself ignoring the things I've now noticing are a problem. I started having palpitations in the heart when I was laying down. I'd get dizzy. I was nauseated a lot. These things started becoming really apparent. It wasn't distress. It was actually something physically going on with me. I could not ignore it anymore. So here I go again. I'm going down to Medi-Cal. I'm going down and asking, and now I'm going to have to appeal. During this time I'm appealing, I do one written appeal, which was denied, and then of course I did the hearing. Well, I wasn't able to figure out how to get to a general practitioner. And because I felt like I kind of flaked on my gastrologist for all the things she did do, and because we're talking months now since I had followed up with her, that I kind of avoided that and saw what I can handle, and found out I have appointments that could be made, because like my appeal did go through, and I did now have Medi-Cal again. So I was trying to get appointments, and they're just like, no one's taking new patients. So I basically broke down, and I called the my gastrologist's office, and I talked to the girls, and they get me referred to the American Cancer Society, and so to help me get into seeing a doctor and handling and seeing if there is a problem that is possibly cancerous and so forth, because as the GI doctor said, it was a tumor. So here we're looking at the possibility of there being a problem like cancer. Anyway, so I have this appointment made, but the surgeon finds out that I was there, not there, but that I had spoken to one of the office girls on the phone. She calls me back, and she tells me that she has already talked to an OBGYN surgeon who is willing to take me, whether I have Medi-Cal or not, at least for, an examination, which is what she really wanted me to have. Okay, 6 months later, here I am getting this examination, and it turns out this doctor is the doctor that delivered my youngest child 25 years earlier, of course. So it was just an interesting symmetry, and it also turned out that the American Cancer Society was referring me to him. So it all kind of turned out to be, this moment of everything coming together for a moment, that I'm going to get better, or at least I have hope now. And which kind of got dashed when we had to wait again for Medi-Cal to pay for more tests to ensure what the problem was. So here goes a few more months, and with Dr. Adams' office, they really worked out on that, and they got me through the American Cancer Society. I was able to get to the test done. The biopsy was done through them. That's what it was. Which, when I found out, was really, really very numbing, and kind of like that denial can no longer work when they tell me, yes, I have cancer. And it's not just any cancer, it's a kind of a rarer type cancer. And of course I had the fibrosis, a type of tumors that were non-cancerous, but there was a lot of them. And but this particular cancer is clear cell sarcoma. Yeah, sarcoma, that's it. Okay, and it's a rather rare. It's normally you see in bones and other connective tissue, not necessarily in the soft tissues of the. So it was mostly in the deeper muscle of the uterus, and it's insidious, a very slow growing cancer, which kind of played into me being, here today, because I had waited so long to handle any of this, that just the very fact that, I could have actually died in the process of waiting for all this if it hadn't been for the help of others. And they really did. They saved my life, because by doing this, they were able to get me into the surgery, and having someone as compassionate as Frederick Adams, he chose to go ahead and do the surgery for free. I had limited Medi-Cal at this point, and it did pay for my anesthesiologist and the surgical team. His own girls actually took care of me the weekend at the surgical center. I was the only patient there. It was actually very, it was a great experience despite the fears that I had. Turned out that I had a tumor that was 7 pounds 6 ounces. It had been causing problems with my vena cava. It was pressing up on it. I was having heart palpitations, and blood pressure was extremely high. These things alone would have killed me long before the cancer would have. The damage that has been done inside my body, making room for this large, object that was overtaking my body like some sort of, body snatchers. I was just really hate thinking about it. But it's finally out of me, and I am now on road recovery. It's been 2 years exactly this month. And because of the damage, I'm still healing. There's still some things I have to have looked at, but the tests I've been taking, I'm still cancer-free. There's no other problems with any other areas that were close by, so no metastasizing occurred. So I'm very fortunate, and I'm grateful for the help that was given to me. And I like to give a special, shout out to Becky's San Diego Relay for Life, because it's that kind of people that are, dedicated and have that passion for others that allows us to have the time. And a little more time, a little more hope is all we need, because life is short. And whatever we can get and grab onto, just being grateful for those that actually help. And I donated 20 today. I would like to try to do more, and hopefully we'll pass on this continuously. This is a great program, and it's nice meeting you guys, and bye.